stealing all those games and sort of just making it more broad in scope. So that's the reason for the change. All the content that's there is going to stay there. I think Skill asked this yesterday. So everything that's at ProCraps stays at ProCraps. Nothing's going to move. It's just going to be. I'll make like playlists for like all the crap stuff. Like crap strategies will be a playlist. Craps theory will be a playlist, and then I'll do roulette strategies, roulette theory, and so forth. So it'll be a big channel when it's all said and done. Probably, I would figure a couple thousand videos would be up there. A lot of it pulled from live shows like this one. Like if I have a live show and I do something cool, I save it, and then that becomes a video up there. I don't really film production style videos anymore like I used to. Sometimes I do, but honestly, I think there's more value when we just talk and it comes out organically, and I think that makes the better videos. So that's what that channel will be, probably in about a month. I've got to get the logo done, and then of course the logo goes on the new felt. The new felt gets shipped and all that. So it'll take us a minute to get us there, but that's what's going to happen with that channel. All right, let's get started here today. And again, your reminder here for the raffles. I'm planning to draw the raffles Friday, but honestly, I may not. I mean, and I'll be perfectly honest with everybody. The raffles are disappointing me right now. We're not getting the bids on these things. Maybe I need to do some videos on some other channels and sort of get the groove out. But right now, we're lagging way behind. The gargoyle felts have only raised about $1,200. The heavy axis thing is barely over $1,000. The absinthe thing has only raised about $80 or $75. We've got to get more people bidding on these things. I don't see the value in drawing a winner until we reach the reserve number, right? And those felts are worth $3,000, right? We put a reserve at $2,500 on those and on heavy. I think the absinthe tickets should be $1,000. I think we need to keep these things going until people have bought enough tickets to make the raffle meaningful. So I may keep it open for a little while. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I can't cover all of it. Like I was going to cover, some of the gap if we got close, but I can't cover another $2,000 to make the minimums and then not be in the raffle, right? So that's what I was going to do, but I can't see myself doing that. So for all three things. So let's keep at it, right? Tell your friends, get somebody to buy a raffle ticket for you if they agree with the cause. So let's just go to it, right? I'll show you the items again though, because I think it's important we keep seeing them, and I'll make a shorter display of this thing for next week's shows as we go out. But here we go. This is what they look like. We've got a couple of things here. Hold on one second. I got to make one little change to this scene here. Otherwise it's gonna blur itself out. All right, we've got the Aladdin felt. We've got the Frontier Hotel felt. 50-something years old that felt is, right? And we've got, of course, the Mirage crapless felt. Now, Gargoyle, who you all know and love, has put these up from his collection. So the winner gets to pick their favorite one of the three. Again, these are like, to me, they're artifacts. They're historical pieces of art. They're from casinos that no longer exist. They're great for wall hangings. They're great if you want to put them on your table. They're amazing, right? Having some history is actually a really cool thing. I've got two historical felts here at my house. I've got the one from the Desert Inn. I've got one that's actually Jacob from Wager Me This is original felt from his old channel. To me, those things are valuable, right? And I'm going to get them both framed and mounted. So I think these are great. For $50, you get to pick the one you want. You win it, it's $50. Pick the one you like. That's pretty cool stuff. Obviously heavy. Put up a full seminar. It's a full weekend seminar, right? For $50, you can get a ticket to win this thing. It's worth about $2,000. I think he charges $1,900 to come to the seminar. It's 2 days of betting and tossing practice with the one and only heavy. And again, $50 for your ticket. Go to crapsforthecure.com and get that thing bought. And finally, we have the absinthe tickets. This is a show in Vegas. These tickets are like $600 a piece, right? The raffle tickets are $50. Put $50 up to win a basically a $1,200 night out in Vegas for $50. It's so worth it. Get your bids out there. Get your raffle tickets bought. crapsforthecure.com. Head the raffle link up top, and let's do this until these things hit their number. I think we need to put the reserve out there, let the reserves hit, and then we'll draw them. I mean, I'm not in any rush to give something away when it hasn't done its job, and the job is obviously for the vets. So let's get on that as soon as you guys can. All right, find a friend, dip in whatever it is, $50 for these things, guys. It's actually pretty cheap. Now, You can do that today, but I'm going to ask you to do this. I'm going to ask you to save your pennies for the weekend. Now, Joe from Craftsmaster Journey, I forgot to mention this earlier in the week, and it's my fault. But Joe from CMJ is doing a 3-hour telethon on Saturday, this coming Saturday, October 4th, starting at 6 in the morning my time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 3 hours. He's going to roll like crazy stuff. Like basically, if you donate $200, he'll throw from behind his back or whatever he's doing. He's got some fun things planned. But it's a fundraiser for his brother who's got pancreatic cancer stage 4, which is no joke. No joking matter at all. That's a bad cancer, and he's already at stage 4. So this is a donation that makes a difference in one person's family. It's going to go right to his brother. And like I said, the family needs all the help they can get. His brother does as well. So let's all step up on Saturday and drop 100, 200, whatever you can do during his live show. He's got a PayPal thing going on there. So as he's doing the show, he'll be checking that. And as donations come in, he will do weird things with the dice. And I think that's his plan. So Saturday, 6 or 9, depending on where you live, for 3 hours. I'll be there all day in the chat helping out. So looking forward to the show, but lamenting the cause. I hate that we have to even do this kind of thing, but that's how 2025 has been. 2025 has been probably one of the worst years for people getting sick and passing away that I can remember in a long time. It's been one of those, man, it's been a rough year. So anyway, let's help Joe out on Saturday. All right. So that's that. Today we're gonna get back in and talk more betting concepts with you. Today's lecture is gonna be more about strategy, how you win. Looking at the bottom part, but all the bridge concepts are important, right? Understanding your bankroll and how it works, how much you have, what's it capable of, understanding how you view risk. Some strategies that I show you are very risky. Some are very low risk, and low risk equals boring. Low risk typically equals a lot of time. You can't typically win a decent amount in a low risk strategy without being there for a long time, because like as Ken says, they're a bump on a pickle. You got to wait for shit to happen, right? But in all cases, we look for when it's time to lean in or leave. We use our discipline muscle to make that happen when it's time, right? We set goals and we stick to them and we keep our emotions in check. All these things are important, right? And I say that because it is chaotic at a casino, right? It's very chaotic at a casino. You know that you experience variance all the time. There are big swings at the table, big swings for you, big swings against you. That happens both ways, right? Tables can, or the vibe can trend, or you miss the tempo, right? You miss or you catch the streaks. All that stuff happens. It's all chaos all the time. And in the chaos is where you can win or lose. It's where you win or lose, I should say, right? And the casino depends on you being so scared of negative variance, of bad swings, that you don't hammer the good ones, right? This is why the expected house edge on a craps table is like 1.4% or whatever, right? For the lowest house edge bets. But the hold on a craps table is like 16 to 18%. It's because people are giving up money when they don't need to. They aren't really understanding how to bet and live in chaos. And chaos, again, comes in all the forms, right? You can lose 6 consecutive times. You could win 6 consecutive times, right? That's the extremes, right? But in the middle there, you lose 1, you win 1. You lose 2, you win 1, right? You can be up and down, chopping all over the place. And how do you deal with it in your rack or on the felt with your chip stack when that happens? And again, this is not just craps. It's everything, right? It's all the games this happens. Yeah, let's talk about a couple ways to deal. Okay, we did some yesterday. I'm going to take today and tomorrow to kind of go through both sides of the egg, right? We're gonna flip the egg in 2 ways, right? We're going to go sunny side up today, which is going to be more right side types of betting strategies. Now, the word strategy, some people get mad when you use the word strategy for whatever reason. Or they're saying, I'm not a strategist. I think everybody's a strategist. I think that those people are lying to you, not lying to you, but they're full of it a little bit, right? They want to go. I think what they're reacting to when they say that is all the channels that are out here promoting the the duck walk or the one-armed bandit, whatever the hell you call a strat. They're just names, right? Really what it comes down to is betting patterns. Everything we do at the craps table, on a roulette table, on a blackjack table, it's all betting patterns, right? We name them to remember them because it makes it easier, but ultimately, look what it comes into, right? Same bet, right? Regress, up and pull, press and regress, otherwise known as a double tap, a power press and collect, which is called the triple X. Press, collect, white, red, we used to call that, right? All of these things boil down to just numbers, right? A same bet is a 1, 1, 1, 1. You never change your base bet, right? A regress might be a 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? When you regress down, it's just you're starting with 3, you're going to 2, and then you're coming back up again, right? When you're doing like I do, a more of a parlay, it's a 1, then 2, then 4, then 8. You're stacking up all your wins, right? All these things, and I boil them down to numbers in the end. All of it is it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 number little pattern that you're trying to follow. That's all it is. Betting patterns are just how much you're betting, right? Strategy equals where your bets go, when you put them there, and how do you play them. That's what a quote unquote strategy is, or a strategist is. People who say they only trend bet, they're doing this. They're saying, well, my bet is going to go on the whatever, 5. When somebody hits it. When I see a shooter shooting 5s, I'm going to put my money there. How am I going to play it? I'm going to go 25 to 40 to whatever, right? They have a pattern in mind to play it when it hits. That's a strategy. Whether you call it the I'm going to bet what I see strategy, fine. Or whether you're going to give it a name, that's fine too. Ultimately, it's all betting patterns. And we're going to explore some of these today. I'm going to show them to you again out here on the felt. What I'm really going to do is show you how to use them in your rack. I think that's where the important bit of this is going to come from today. How to use betting patterns in your rack as you're playing. And again, you can do this at the blackjack table as well. Okay, so let's go. Let's come on down to the floor here, and I'll show you kind of how I see this. All right, let's go to the table view. I got to get one more thing out of the way. There we go. All right, hey, old number 7, Bob is here. Let's see. Bob is, I know, a huge baseball fan. We got some baseball happening right now. Every series but one is tied. And I think everybody on the planet is rooting against the Yankees. So that makes us all brothers in this whole thing, right? Everybody except for, I know one guy's rooting for the Yankees. Actually, I have a soft spot for one guy in the Yankees. There's a guy named Jose Caballero. He used to play for the Mariners. Really good kid. Who plays for the Yankees. He got traded there this year, so I'm hoping that he does well, but the rest of the team can suck it. Anyway, here we go. Let's look at betting patterns. Now, when we think about where our bets are on the table, now let's take a look at like a simple one, right? Same bet. Same bet is easy. You don't have to really track it, but we'll use white trips to track. Let's just take the box numbers as our example in craps, and I'll show you a simple way to do it later on. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, you can use chips in your rack to sort of tell you where you are in the system, right? If you're going to be a same better, in other words, we're going to go 160 across. Nice and simple for you to see and for me to deal. 160 across. If you're going to be a same better, then you know every single chip is a collect, right? You're just always collecting on these things. That's how you kind of know where you are, right, in the thing. But let's say, so again, if the 10 hits, it's going to be 50 for 1, and you're going to collect all day long, right? You're in collect mode forever. Your bet size is always 1. But what if you wanted to do something a little more interesting? Okay, what if you wanted to go with like a regression system? Okay, and you want to track kind of where you are in the regression. So here's a way to do that. Okay. In a regression, now I like to do a 3-to-1. We talked about it yesterday, right? So a 3-to-1 means adding to every bet. You got to have 30 on the 4, 5, 9, and 10, and the 6 and 8 really need to go a little higher than that, right? We'll leave it here for now because I've already set it up. But if you're going to regress, you can take these and change them. You have 3 on the 4 and the 10. You've got 3 on the 5 and the 9. And you've got 3 on the 6 and the 8. Now, here's why we do this, because you can get lost in the sauce. You see, I have 3 white chips for every bet. Let's say that our 10 hits. And let's say we're going to go with a regression up and pull for each bet, right? Watch how I do this. The 10 at 30 is going to, and I'll no vigs. We're going to get paid $60. There's the $60 for that $30 bet on the 10. Now, we're going to regress the 10 down to 1 unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that money back in my rack. We're going to make it look like a 1 unit bet. Go from 30 to 10, or maybe we'll go 30 to 20. Maybe we'll go 30 to 20. It's a better. I think it's a better regression. We'll go 30 to 20. I'm going to take that one as nickels. Okay, we'll put $20 out there. Now my 10 is not 3. My 10 is 2. See that? My 10 is now 2 sized, right? So I know where I am in my progression. If you forget where you are, right? This is how you can tell how many units you have out there. You can look at your bets. You can kind of remember, but you can use your rack to tell you, oh, I got 2 units out there. That way you don't forget. Because when things start happening, we start pulling money back over here. Let's say the 5 rolls, right? A $30 5 pays $42, right? 25, 40. It pays $42, right? We're going to regress it back down to a 2 unit bet. So it looks like 20. Now the 5 has 2 units on it. You can see in your rack, you've got 2 units there and 2 units here. A way to remember where you are. And by the way, for 160 or 180 across, we've got 120 back in the rack. Just putting it out there that the regression sort of helps you through some of this stuff. Okay, using your chips to remember where you are in your rack is a helpful way to not get lost when you're doing something. Because now the 10 hits again for $40. What are you going to do with the $40? Right? Where are you going to go? You're going to press it by 1 unit. Put $10 to it, and now you're at level 3 on your 10. You can look at your rack. Oh, I got three bets on the 3 units on the 10. Right? If the 10 hits again, I've got to color it up. I got $30 out there again. And 30 pays 60. I want to go to 4 units on the 10. So we're going to go to $40 and take some money back. Again, use your whites to kind of track where you are so you don't forget where you are. Right? This is an easy way to remember stuff as you're playing a progression. If you're playing a progression that's more complex, now let's take one number as an example. I'm going to get all this out of here. Let's do a simple one. Take some whites out of the way. Again, 1 unit on every bet. Put the whites over here. Let's do 160 again. Let's play an aggressive 1, 3, 2, 4 out there on the line, out there here. Okay. Again, this can be done anywhere down here too, right? But I'm going to show you up here on one number. Let's say the 9 gets hot. Okay. Watch my rack. I've got 1 unit bet out there. The 9 hits. Okay. The 9 hits for $35. Okay. I got to take it to 3. If I'm playing a 1, 3, 2, 4, the 9's got to go to 3 units. I got to actually drop it a quarter out of my rack. Okay. Power press it to a 3 unit bet. Ooh, it's scary. That's really scary, right? No different than doing it at the pass line. I do it all the time down here. But up here, you're going, oh my God, that guy's crazy, right? We'll take $10 back, but I'm going to mark the 9 now as being at level 3. See that? 1, 2, 3 chips on the 9. I know, looking down here, what I got up there. Because as you know, on a craps table, there's bets everywhere. It's hard to tell where your bets are. This way, I know I'm at a 3. So when the 9 hits for $105, I know I have to go to 2 now. I'm at 3, 1, 3. I'm going to go to level 2 and tell my dealer, make that 9 look like 50. Now it goes to a 2 unit bet, and I bring the profit back to the back. And by the way, that's a pretty cool little move right there. A 1, 3, 2, 4 and a 9 or a 5 or whatever. Look at that. You bring back $140 out of the 160. Pretty damn cool, right? Now I'm at 2. If the 9 hits at 50 for $70, my next bet is 1, 3, 2, 4. I'm going to put 2 more whites in here so I know I'm going to 4 units. And it goes to 4 quarters. Make it look like 100. Bring this back. On the 4, I know it's collection time. If I'm playing a 1, 3, 2, 4, I know. At 4, I collect. That pays $150 for 10. $140 is the actual payment, right? And I'm done. That progression has finished. Matter of fact, I can bring the 9 home. The 9 did its job, and I'm done with the 9. Maybe it goes back to a quarter. and I start at 1 again. Capiche? Use your rack to help you know where you are, especially in a complex progression like a 1, 3, 2, 4. It's easy to forget. Use this to know where you manage. And by the way, a 1, 3, 2, 4 on a $25 9 is 100, 200, 1, 2, 300, 50, 375, by the way. If you pull a 1, 3, 2, 4 off on a 5 or a 9 from a quarter, hello, that's not a bad little win on a miracle. And again, we talk about winning lots of money in the chaos. That's a chaotic roll. It happens a lot, but that's a chaotic little roll right there. That's how you can attack it without being too much at risk. Remember, on the second hit, that 3 hit, you already had profit. Right? On the 1, 3, on that 3, you brought back a nice black chip as profit on that one, and you're still playing now for the home run. That's a pretty cool little system on all the numbers. Anyway, use your rack to track where you are. That is a nice, easy way to remember things. Now, if you're going to go with a more a simpler progression, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's say that your risk profile says I'm never going to get above a 5-unit bet or something, right? Again, use your whites to track it. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's pick the 8 this time. The 8 pays $35, right? You're at level 1, right? Your first one is a 1. You save it. Your second hit becomes a 2. So your 8 now looks like 2. You put a second white chip in there. Your 8 is level 2. Make it look like 60. Bring back a nickel. The next hit is a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 3, 2 pays 70. You go to 3. 3 units up there. 1 unit come back to the rack. Add your white chip so you don't forget where you are. You're going to be the next hit at level 4. The fourth hit of the 8 is a miracle, right? It pays $105. That's fantastic, right? You're going to make it look like a 4-unit bet now, okay? The 4-unit bet is 120. There's 120. There's your next bet. Maybe you're the kind of person that at level 4, I'm staying put. And you can just not forget. I have 4 on the 8. Again, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I have 4 units in my rack on the 8, 4 white chips. It's a collect. Same bet, same bet. It's going to be black chips all day long. That might be the way that you manage things in here so you don't forget where you are. And again, that works just as well on a blackjack table, right? If we take all this out of here and take the rack away, you're playing blackjack. It works the same way. You just got to have your chips in stacks, right? When I manage my blackjack bankroll, right, I typically do groups of hundreds, right? I'll take in greens. I got to get my greens all set up here. I'll do something like this. I'll take a 20, there's a $400 in green, right? I'll put $400 next to me. Usually it's a small stack like that. It's easy to manage, right? And I just keep it sitting here, right? But when I'm playing out there, if I'm at a 1, 3, 2, 4, and I forget where I am, I use my reds behind me to match. I use my reds, 1, 3, and I'm at 2, and I'm at 4. Because what will happen is this, right? If you catch a run in blackjack, you can really get confused. And here's why. I'll put it here in the middle. That's my blackjack. I'll put it here on the 12, right? Blackjack bet. There's a 1. Let's mark the 1. Okay, I'll put my green chip back. Let's mark the 1. Let's get paid on the 1. Okay, we're going to go to 3 with it. Now I know I'm at 3. Take my reds and I mark them out there behind my stack at 3 units, right? Let's say we win the 3. Let's have a nice miracle run. We win 3 units, right? I come back to 2. Again, I take this and I put it, have another stack of reds that I'm playing with, but my tracker stack is here, right? Come down to 2 units, bring the greens back, right? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now watch how I do this, right? There's my 400. New stack of greens is profit, by the way. I keep 400 here. My next stack is here, profit. Hey. Now I'm at 2, right? When this wins, I mark it as 4 and I go to 4. And when the 4 wins the 100, now here's the difference. Watch what I do here, right? This comes back to the profit pile. I'm trying to make it look like the other one, right? I'm at 4. My next bet's going to be a level 1, right? But what is my 1? Is my 1 a unit again? Or is my 1 2 units? Here's where you can get lost. My 1 is a 2-unit bet at $50. Maybe I press the bottom half and say, you know what? We're going to start the process again but from level 2. My 1 is now 2. I will actually take 2 of my green chips and do this. I'll put it next to there so I don't forget where I'm at. So I'm at level 1 with a 2-unit size bet. And again, this is my way of managing where I am on a blackjack table so I don't fuck it up. Because you can get screwed here, right? Because now when that wins and I want to go to a 3-unit bet, I have to go 1, 2, and I go, oh, I'm at 2 units. I got to drop 2 units. And now my bet looks like that, right? When the 3 bet hits, I go back down to 2 units of $50 each. The bet looks like 100. That's how I remember where I am. You follow me? When the 2 hits, hopefully it hits, right? You get paid 4. You stack the 4. It's a big giant ass stack, right? And there it is. There's your 8-unit stack. Mark it up here so you know you're at the last one. Because again, you can't tell in the heat of the moment what you got out there. When the 4 wins, it comes back. I cap it off. Look, there's my 400 I started with. There's my profit stack. This all goes bye-bye. My play stack is here now. I'm back down to level 1, and I can decide, is level 1 3 units now? And I'm here. And I play 3 units until this stack goes away. Keep accelerating. But if you get lost in this, how many chips do I got to put out there? This is the way that you know 3 units of 3, or a stack of 3 of 3 units. That's how you can remember where you are. When you're doing a betting progression, which I think is the only way to win these games, by the way, you can get lost and you get really screwed up if you're not organized and using your brain power to keep track of where shit is. Because chaos is chaos. You win 4, that was an 8 wins in a row. I've won 8 in a row in blackjack a million times, right? When you win 4, 6, 8 in a row, and you're doing a press progression like that, you can get really jacked up and forget where you are. Again, we go back to the patterns, right? That was a 1, 3, 2, 4. If I'm doing a 1, 2, 4, 8, I can get really lost. Where's my stuff, right? So again, use your stacks, use your rack to sort of help you remember where you are. But at the end of the day, all you're doing with all of this stuff is betting patterns, right? If I'm going to same bet, it's always a 1. It's a 1, 1, 1, 1. If I'm going to do an up and pull, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, right? If I'm here and I win 35 on the 5, it's up and pull. If I win 60 on the 50, it's up and pull. If I win 105 there, it's up and pull, right? That's a simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 progression. Very easy to remember as you're doing it here fast. In real time, you need your rack to help you out to know what your level is. Otherwise, you'll get lost in it, right? Everything comes down to numbers. 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 8, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, collect. 3, 6, collect. 6, 12, collect. That's the double tap, right? Or the power, or the double tap, or the lux. That's the pattern there, right? It's 1, 3, 3, 9, 9, 27. That's how those guys manage it. Otherwise, you'll get so messed up in where you are. So anyway, that's my advice. My advice today is this. Build your strategy how you want to. Watch what you want to on TV, right? Filter everything through the lens of normalcy, right? Is that something I would actually play? And if I would play it, how can I remember to play it correctly? What's the secret sauce to not getting lost in it, right? Use your rack, use your piles to help you remember where things are. I think that's a big help, right? Now tomorrow, we're going to talk more about the negative side of things, right? We're going to go with negative progressions, and they're the same. They follow the same basic patterns, right? The negative progressions follow the same numbers, but you're working through the loss chaos. We go back a screen. We look at like winning a bunch of times in a row is fantastic, right? But what happens when we lose 2 and win 1, or lose 1 and win 2, or whatever, right? Or have a chop. This is where the negative progressions, or the guys who say always bring a ladder, come to play. In that situation, again, your rack is going to be your best friend to tell you what your next bet is. When you're playing a negative progression game, it's real easy to forget what you got out there. And I'm going to show you how to use your rack, especially in craps, but also in other games, to help you know where you are. Waylon says this a lot, and Ken parrots this a lot, right? Don't forget where you are. because when you're in a ladder, it's very easy to forget that you might be in profit with what's out there. Very easy to forget that. So I'm going to show you a trick in the rack that will help you to track where you are when you get to profit. Sometimes in a ladder, you might ladder up 5 times, and when you come down at level 3, you might be in profit and not know it. I'm going to break that for you tomorrow. We're going to look at the rack tomorrow and get you a profit identifier in a ladder to help you through it. But today, all about the right side, all about trying to hit the good streak or the good chaos, right? And again, if you mess up your betting pattern, if you forget where you are in your betting pattern, your strategy goes to shit because you don't know how much to bet. That's an important thing to remember. And that's my big takeaway for you today. It's not to roll it out and see which one works. It's just to give you a way to hopefully choose some and play them out. Now, as we go through with the show on the new channel and stuff, I will do a lot of this. I'll do a lot of pass line, don't pass line betting, super boring stuff, right? With these progressions. And I may even do something like a 1, 3, 2, 4 up here from profit. All right. So there's all that. Let's go back to the other screen here. We're gonna go here and look at some questions here. I know there's a bunch of stuff out there right now that I got to get to. So let's see. Yeah, in Vegas, the trick in the rack can mean something totally, especially if you go to certain parts of town, right? Newberry says chop is the main part of the game. You gotta learn how to win in the chop, right? The only way to win in the chop is with a negative progression. Honestly, the chop wins in a negative progression. The only way you can catch it, right? If you're winning, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. The ladders do so great there, right? But it's having the wherewithal and the bankroll to switch into a ladder that makes that work, right? And again, there's small ladders and big ladders, right? And I think being able to switch into it with bankroll to survive the chop, as long as what you're doing to survive the chop can also then capitalize on something positive. We talk about this a lot. Like, why is that so weird looking? I lost my Stream Deck. The Stream Deck is really acting funny. It's like keeps losing power, which means I can't change what you're looking at. What the hell, man? Sorry, I don't know why it's doing that. Configure Stream Deck. It's like, yeah, for some reason it's losing power. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, the reason why I say this is because I have to change the camera view. There we go. I got this little tiny button to hit with my mouse, and it's hard to find it. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. We're talking about the chop. Yeah, the negative progressions catch the chop. The positive progressions catch the run. What you got to be able to do is say in a chop system, have a way out of it. So if you're doing the laddering and you catch 1, 2, 3 in a row, switch over and catch that series. If you can catch the series because you might be in one and not realize it, right? Being able to jump out of negative into positive progressions is a thing. It's a real thing. And you can miss it. You can be regressing down and never getting the run that you need, right? Sometimes the same bet during a ladder is power move, not pressing, just going from 5 to 4 to 3, 3, 3, and staying there for a minute in a good series will get you out quick, and then you can start your progression again. So pay attention to where you are. It's an important thing. All right, let's go to the questions here. All right, so Newberry says, can I ask Matt from Dice Data what the percentage is for rolls under 4? Yes, he's got that. So when you buy his reports, it's in there for your particular run. Like when you pay him his money, right? He charges like $150 or something for a strategy review. He does like 8.5 million rolls, and then he gives you kind of the lowdown on the rolls. He's got that data, and he'll show. When I have him on the show, he'll share the generics with me. One thing he says, which is pretty cool, which is every time he does a strategy for somebody, for a customer of his, it's the same. Like, not the whole thing is the same. Every strategy has a different win rate and loss rate and all that kind of stuff. But in the end, the aggregate stuff, the average number of rolls, that trend chart always looks the same, right? So we will ask him that question for sure. There's definitely a mean in there where the rolls of 4 and 10 are kind of the dominance, right? You get a lot of 4s and 10s that make the scatter chart work. So I'll ask him that for sure when he's on there. Skills says, I'm going to show or comment on the bubble. I gotta save them out of my phone. They're on my phone, not my computer. I'll save them out, and we'll put them out there. But yeah, that was really an interesting, chaotic series you had there with all the tens, and yeah, so it's a mess. All right, Skill says also, if the fourth progression goes down, am I not down overall? No, I'm not. And again, you're trying for the streak. So let's go. And again, depends on the progression you're playing. Okay, if we go back down to our table really quick. Okay, and again, I'll leave the mouse in here. Right, if I'm in a progression, if I'm here, if I start with a 3 unit and I'm going to go regression up and pull, the first bet wins 3, and I come down to 2. There's my money back. There's a unit in profit. No matter what happens to this bet, I'm okay. I got 1, right? A proper regression up and pull leaves you in profit after the first hit, and then you can go up and pull. That's why I like 3. That's why I like 3, because 3 pays 3, and when you come down, you have your money back plus 1. That's the idea behind the initial. More risk up front, way better reward as you go. If you're doing a 1, 3, 2, 4, check it out. 1 pays 1. You add 1, so you're into it for 2. When the 3 hits on roll number 2, which is what your question was, right? On roll number 2, you regress down to a 2-unit bet. Well, you've got your 2 units back. You've got 2 units in profit, and you're playing with 2. No matter what happens, you're in profit, right? If you decide to be aggressive and go with the 4, 2 wins 2, and you go to 4, and you lose this one, you still have a 2-unit profit. Yes, you left 4 units out there, but you're looking for the streak. If you want to just play a 1-3 all the time, play a 1-3 all the time, and I'll show you how that works, right? Watch this. There's a 1-3 progression that's you'll love it. There's a 1, it pays 1, you add 1, and you win 3. So here you are with your initial money back and 2 units in profit. Now, I'm going to do a 1-3 again, but my 1 is going to be 2 units. So when 2 wins 2, I add my profit back to it, right? Now I got a 6-unit bet out there. And if 6 happens to win, I take it all down. My next one is size 3. And I up my base. There's my initial $2 is over there, right? This is all profit. Now I'm playing from 3. My next press is going to be 3-unit press, right? 3 pays 3. I drop 3. I'm still in profit from my original 2, and I play here. You can go 1-3, 1-3, 1-3 forever. You don't got to go 1-3, 2-4. 1-3, 1-3, 1-3 is fantastic. Leave your last bet out there. That's your new level. If this happens to win, my next level is 4. And I'm going up on the base and going a 1-3, 1-3 from this higher base every time. That's a way to destroy a table or destroy a run without ever really experiencing any risk. Right? If you think about that, the risk was only on the first one because the first one guaranteed a profit. I left the profit out there to work for me. When you leave your profit out there to work for you, that's how you mitigate the house edge. We talked about that last week. The only way to mitigate house edge is to win either more often than you should or win more than you should when you do win, right? You win more than you should when you do win, when you power press those bets down there and catch that win, because that extra little bit of juice covers up 4 or 5 previous losses. Now you're going to suffer in the beginning, right? You're going to suffer some 1 or 2 unit losses along the way, but the reward there of 12, 15, 18 units on just an okay little run is where it's at to me. I think that if we do nothing else on this show, we're going to explore the shit out of betting progressions because I think that's where it all happens. All right. All right. I think we've got everything covered. Oh yeah, Louis, those in Vegas are doing the casino tiers experience this weekend. Enjoy and good luck. It's going to be fantastic. I wish I could do it. I got to write to Bo and Ed. I was going to go out there, but just too poor right now. Working my ass off on the Nexus app, and so I've been heads down on that, but I've got, it hasn't made me money yet, right? We're still building, so there's no extra juice. I can't keep flying back and forth, so probably gonna miss it, which sucks. All right, let's roll on. I'll leave you with our inspiration for the week here, which is this: 6 months from now, you'll either have 6 months of progress or 6 months of excuses. Right? Be the progress guy, not the excuse guy, please. All right. And that's really all I got for you today. I guess later, either next week, week after, I'm working on scheduling. I will have Travis from Dicer.io on with me. We're going to build a couple of strategies live in his drag and drop interface and show us how to use it, but also do some sample runs. I'll do some 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do some of these strategies as a comparison. You can watch how jagged the spikes get. It's not important to see what the money won was. It's important to see how jagged the spikes are. That, I think, is the thing that people miss in these data analyses. And of course, I have Matt from Dice Data on as well. We're going to build something out together too. We're actually going to work on. He's going to show me the report that we did for the ATS. I had him do the ATS with and without the pass line to see how it plays out. We're also going to do the. We're going to build together. We're going to build out the code for the ATS that Jacob did, where you have a $15 5 and a $15 ATS, and see which one of them makes the 175 more often. So that'll be pretty fun to watch, I think. So, yeah, you're right, IPTV. This is a very important point. The buying the 410 is $1 at 25 or 30, right? What we always say is get as much juice out of that dollar that you can. Right, get as much. Go if they won't take the second dollar till 35, go to 35 because it reduces the juice by so much to be out there. I should do a little analysis on that actually, and actually that's a good thing for Dice Data to do. Run a buy bet on the 10 with vig up front, and at different levels at 20, 25, 30, and 35 with the same dollar vig, and let's see how the house edge. That's a great point. I'm gonna. Hold on, I'm going to screenshot that comment right now. Hold on. Booyah. I'm going to send that over to Matt today because that's a really important point that you make. We talked about it once before on this show about the VIG up front versus the VIG on the win. What a massive difference that is. But you're right. As you increment, and even like at Palace Station, there it's an auto buy at $10. Right? So a $10 bet pays 19, it pays 20 for one versus just paying 18, which is interesting. It lowers the edge of the bait of what would have been a place bet by an amount, but not the same as amount as it would be if it was higher. Great point. Thanks for bringing that up. All right, let's get out of here, folks. Have a great Thursday. Whoa, geez. I guess well, that was weird. I guess I'll see y'all mañana for Friday, and we'll do some negative progressions tomorrow. I will see you later. Bye, y'all.